Alright, so I know most of you know what Dead by Daylight is for now, but if you don't, well, it basically is an action and survival multiplayer horror game when one killer hunts down survivors in a game of cat and mouse. Or at least that's what the wiki says. So Dragon Ball The Breakers is basically the same, with some alterations along with quite a few stuff taken over from another Dragon Ball game series called Xenoverse, which makes it a spin-off. Dragon Ball Xenoverse being an action role-playing 3D fighting game released by the same company. And I'm here to talk about the beta that happened recently that I could experience, and I'll talk about it here. I'll divide this overview by 3 sections: a general review about what the game offers now, my experience with it, and how can it improve from what we have now. Enough chit chat and let's do it. Oh, and one thing I forgot. Actually, the mic that I have been using for now is been kind of bad in the beginning, so please, I beg you, just ignore that until the second section of this video. So yeah, that's bit neat really. So that's not all. I forgot to say that this is completely a test video. So if you like it, you can subscribe, blah blah blah, you know the rest. So let's just continue. This is a lot of sections, so hold on tight. Jesus, I hate seeing this. I wish I could go to jail for this. It starts by Trunks fighting you in apparently the middle of nowhere, and the first thing you do is make a character basically. You can choose only 2 types of bodies, type A, which is masculine, or type B, which is feminine. One thing to note from the character creator is obviously the reused models of Xenoverse, but they were polished from this game. But even though they were just copy-pasted into the game, they look pretty nice to me. But getting into the character creator is just better than Xenoverse, but just up to a point. But just because it's literally the same hairstyle, same mouse style, same everything. And it got rid of something else entirely. But we'll get there, we will, soon enough. But continuing, they actually gave access to take out and give your Christian character pupils in a little small white shadow to your eyes instead of being a whole other option, which is pretty neat in my opinion. After you have created your character, you go straight back to the story again. Future Axel here again. It's sorry for the Spanish footage here and there, but you can change the language of the bat, but don't worry though, there will just be a bit. Moving on, Trunks find us in a kind of alternative universe, and that's where the tutorial starts. The tutorial shows us a bit of the mechanics, just like climbing, jumping and dodging, just to name a few. Then we're presented some biomechanics, which I'll talk later about. Next, we're introduced to 2 new characters, which are Shawn and Knowledge, which by the way, both are fully voice acted, and that surprises me. In a good way, even though they sound like in a romantic drama anime.
ここにセットすればいいの？私がやってもいい？
ああ、僕がやりたかった。
Then here's a quick run of what happens, which is not important really. Trunks throw hands with Cell, with destroy Cell. Trunks kidnaps us to the timeless and a time rift? Question mark? Opens up to the same place we just escaped. But this time, we got a gun. Oh, and Bulma and Ulam comes to join us for some reason. Bulma also got this weird baby face. But anyway, some biomechanics later, Trunks kidnaps us for the last time, and we're in the main lobby, and there's quite a few things to do here. We still got a gun though. First off is the mailbox robo. This is where you can get rewards and stuff. Pretty simple. Then there's the menu robo, where it tells you how you can play the game. You can access through manuals in the post menu too, so that's helpful as well. After that, there's the character creation, where you can make your character from zero and basically rebuild it. I guess if you didn't like it, then well, there's that. Later, there's the shop, and this is where you can buy near everything, up to clothes, backpacks, stickers, emotes, radar lines, and way more. It's actually very stacked, and most of these are original from the game, so that's nice too, although kinda basic. There's other game references too. Then there's training. Here you can learn super attacks and upgrade skills to help you when you are a survivor. finally is the Spirit SIPHON, and it's basically a gacha. You pull for a certain attack of one character to pop and get it. Obviously really luck based. The rates actually being reasonable this time, at least for this banner in this beta. Oh, and there's a news board here telling you about the latest news about the game, about new banners dropping or new skills, things like that. Getting that out of the way, in the beta there's 3 modes. There's episodes, where it's basically story mode, which already covered and it's all for now, where Trunks give you the gun too. There's practice mode, where you can use the items that you obtain as a survivor and get some ideas out of it. Plus you can invite friends and test stuff over. And finally there's online match. I don't really need to explain much about that. And to end section 1, the game mechanics, which are kinda basic. The survivors need to either defeat or escape the raider by clearing the raider health to 0. You can do that only with a skill everyone has, and it's this board that starts from 0 and ends with 4, getting stronger each time and transforming to a different C word with each different level, and level 4 being usually Goku. This ability builds passively, or you can just feed it by obtaining charge power in boxes and random places. Or you can just defeat the raider by finding power keys scattered throughout the map and place them all 5 in their own position in the map. Then activating a super time machine to defeat the raider. If the raider destroys this machine or beats 2 or 3 survivors, a signal beacon will appear somewhere in the map. By activating it, a time machine appears and you'll be able to live by yourself or with an entire squad. I like this a lot, not gonna lie. You can just cut your entire squad and live by yourself, but obviously the survivors have more tools, those being skills. Only can equip 4 of these, and each with their own utility. Like for example, one of my favorites, Creaming Shoe. It actually stuns the raider for quite some time and it's kinda funny. That's not everything though, because there's more. There are many different kinds of items around crates in all of the map. One of these being cooldown drinks, which just cuts the time when you can transform so that you can do it again. Charge power, which just give you basically the power to take on the raider. Sensor beams, which can use to revive yourself or a teammate. A scatter to identify where's the raider. Vegeta's glove, which can be used to launch a gully gun. Some rocket launchers, which I don't really need to explain. They just shoot, that's all. There are multiple raiders to identify stuff like keys, civilians, and Dragon Balls. And for this last one, there are 3 levels. The raider just gets big and it has a new color really. For all around the map, there are rideable vehicles and expanding machines for drinks, and rocket launchers in case you have enough sand in your pockets. You can only carry 2 items, so be careful with that. And the gun! It shoots, duh. You can shoot at boxes and it drops Zenny or charge power. Then there's the raider. At the moment we got 2, Cell and Frieza. Also will come in at the 3rd one soon. We don't know when, but I will guess is when the game drops. There's only a few ways to beat the survivors. Clearing them all up or destroying the super time machine along with the escape one. It's really simple. The raider got his own abilities too. Can blind opponents, check where they are within a radius, dodge and attack separately from their skills like Death Beam, Spirit Beam Cannon and way more. They also got this attack where they can clear off one piece of the map, and if you're down you are basically screwed. Raiders are pretty powerful. They also transform, and every time they do they get this ability. And they can do this by finishing off the survivors or the civilians found all through the map. Well, that was the end of basically section 1, but just relax while I'll talk about some of my best friend's channel. Ninja's channel, apart from being one part of fighting game related content, will take the most majority of this series where he started called Kamen Rider Chronicles, where he talks about Kamen Rider of each of their own series. Soon is O's, which I think that's how you say it, basically resuming each one of the Kamen Rider entries, and I think it's pretty good. Oh, and I appeared in one of his videos too with another friend of mine, which makes content. Channel is named XOFH, and you just really have to see it for yourself, trust me, so make sure to check it out. Anyways, up to section 2. So I thought it was kinda fun. Where I played in the beta felt natural to say that way, as in I was feeling how I could improve by both playing the Raider and both the Survivor. I even tested how the game could run by an Ethernet cable and pure Wi-Fi. I didn't feel any difference to say, just stuff here and there like the Ethernet cable being better, obviously, and that's nearly it. One tiny nitpick is that the controller didn't work so well in the beginning. I had to get out and get in the game sometimes just to make it work, but that sometimes happens only when entering the game the first time, so I could believe that was me. Anyways, I don't get to say a lot in this section because then there's section 3, so yeah. Ooh, this part is my favorite. Well, to start, why isn't there any other races? To make it more clear, Xenoverse 2 had Magians, Namekians, Saiyans, Humans, and Fisher race. What do we got? Random male and female with that race. So, if you're a fan of Saiyans and Humans, well, good for you, I guess, but it's not good in any capacity. Other thing that they should balance is the power of both the Raider and the Survivors. One always ends up above each other and it's really not how it's supposed to be. You can literally infinite combo the Raider, or the Raider can kill you instantly, you never know. We keep it going though, because items were a bit annoying because one thing, they don't tell you what they are useful for. I literally had to go to practice mode to see what they could be used for, or already knew since the Twitter account of the Breakers had info on it, and the game doesn't have it at all. Oh, and speaking of practice mode, you can use the Raider to test them out too. You're stuck at a Survivor, and that sucks. But it's legitimately a shame that they did this already, because they are releasing this game, when? October 14? Yeah, so 2 months for its release, and even though it costs $20, there was no excuse for any of these issues. Well, that has been my first video ever created, so I hope you give it a lot of support so that I can do more of this, and who knows, actually give these reviews more depth? I don't know, well, that's it really. Did I mention the gun too?